The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Vinyl versus Serato.
That's a fucking ridiculous argument, and I can't believe you just asked me it. What? In what context? In what context?
So more so, when I say vinyl versus Serato, I don't mean necessarily one's better than the other, but as opposed to when you're talking vinyl and you're talking
do I
Serato,
wish Serato never got invented?
Nah, what do you find are the pros and cons? You know.
Oh look, I pros Serato, the invention of DVS, has made DJing more accessible for people to start. When I started DJing, you had to wait until you had a couple crates of records before you could even really design a set. You know what I mean? That takes a year or a couple years to dig for a couple crates. You know what I mean? These days, you go and buy a MIDI controller and a laptop for not much. You probably get them both for under $1,000 secondhand, download some music and you're a DJ. So the whole DJing side of it is more accessible to people, which is great because it's easier to start up. On the flip side, it kind of has. I was having this conversation with someone recently. I think it was Crispy, because people can get access to so much music, and this is relative to turntablists as well. Okay, is that you're a beat juggler, yeah? You go and buy 212s to juggle, right? That's going to cost you $40, yeah? $40, $50, $25 a record, whatever it was, yeah? That's the only piece of music that you've actually got to practice with. You know what I mean? You learn how to flip those records. You know, your style starts to evolve and create itself around those records until you go and buy another couple of 12s. Yeah? So different DJs buying different 12s, going and practicing doing different things. These days, everyone's got access to the same music. So, you know, does the originality get lost? Look, you know, it's a never-ending conversation. You know what I mean? And I try really, really hard to be an optimistic, positive dude. You know, there's so many people that are so negative on like CDJs and dudes that don't have much skill. And I'm always of the opinion of, man, it's a good thing because it segregates the dudes that can actually do real shit from the guys that are just there pushing buttons on MIDI controllers. If it separates us more, you know what I mean? We stand out even more. You know, we've actually got something unique. But, you know, like, fuck, man, it is what it is. You know, you either take it and run with it or you just stand there a bitter old piece of shit fucking hating on everything and going fucking backwards. Oh, it's not like it used to be. Fucking rah, rah, rah. What a way to fucking live. I've never understood jaded DJs. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I was that jaded, I would fucking stop. And then my biggest victory over the past 16 years of DJing is the fact that I step into my studio with the same enthusiasm, if not more, than when I first started. When people meet me, at first they're a bit standoffish because they're just like, man, this dude can't be this excited about scratching and DJing and all that kind of stuff. Surely he's putting it on. You know what I mean? But I am really that enthusiastic about DJing and about scratching. I fucking love it. That's why I'm still doing it. If I was like jaded, fucking Serato DJs and CDJs and they're on zip drives, it's like, who gives a fuck? Just don't focus on what what you don't like. Do something about it. Do it the way you want to do it. You know what I mean? Like Jazzy Jeff was asked in the Q&A about has the sync button has the sync button ruined DJ? And he just goes, what a fucking ridiculous question. We're arguing about the wrong thing. As I said to you, why are we talking about this? Because it's if you don't like the sync button, don't use it. But don't be dogging people because they are. If they want to use the sync button, go for it. You want to not DJ on stage while you're getting paid? Go for it. Play a fucking mix CD. Who cares? Do it the way you want. But all that time you were spending talking about negative shit, you could actually be creative with that time and actually do something positive. That's my point. It's just like you can't change technology. More technology is going to keep coming out. And, you know, I should be the most bitter person of all about fucking about Serato coming out. I remember when it dropped, I was actually getting my mash sets and my record collection to something that was pretty unique, you know, just a massive eclectic record collection. Well, massive for me, but you know, and I remember when it dropped and I'm just like, well, that was a complete fucking waste of time. My records have been sitting on the shelf collecting dust ever since. I get them out and I play them and shit, you know what I mean? And people are like, well, why don't you just play records, you know, when you go to the club? And it's like, clubs aren't set up to play vinyl these days. You get reverb and skipping because they're not designed to actually handle the bass of the but also, you know, who wants to fucking carry around two massive bags of records? I've sworn a lot since I've been on this thing, haven't I? But anyway, conversation over, man. Like it's a never-ending conversation and one that really is a waste of time.
The lesson.
927.